Okay, so you want to hook up a light bar like this. This is upside down. It's taped because I just painted it, but it's a light bar. It's got a positive and it's got a negative. Pretty simple, power and ground. So the easiest and cheap way to do this is you take your ass to Walmart and get you one of these. It's $10 at Wally Mart, and it looks like this. Comes in a little ball. It's got a relay that you mount. It's got a switch. It's got a plug, which I always cut them off. It's just a power and ground right behind this wire. You just snip it and you'll have a red and black. And then it's got your got a fuse on here like so, and a positive and negative coming at it for your battery. Very simple. For this truck, for the rear, I hooked up these guys, and those kits also come with dual wiring, so you'll have 2 powers and 2 grounds for like doubles like this. But that one's 15 bucks. The single is 10 bucks at Wally Mart. Today I found out you can go to Rural King and get the singles for $15. It might be a little better quality. Looked almost exactly the same as this. Very, very simple. So now we're going to start wiring, which where is it? Wow, this one's a lot shorter than the one I had. This comes unconnected, so you can run it through your firewall and run your switch into your cab. Yeah, and all the other stuff is going to go under your hood and then to the front of your vehicle because we're hooking up in the front. So let's run some wires. Alright, well, it's been about 5 minutes already. Got this going through. Found a spot in the firewall there. Let's find you a hole. There's probably a grommet or something. This goes through your switch, which unclips, which is what we did. Wrong hole. Yeah. And then you look up here. You can't see it, but down in there, there's a hole. Goes right in the firewall. Find a grommet. It's got to be something where you can run through. That was already open, but there's been stuff, electronics already hooked up in here. But so then here you got your relay. He's not going to mount it because he's ghetto like that, and that's just fine.
A daily.
Yep. And this is just going to get zip tied together because that's slack, and there's going to be a whole bunch of slack for the switch. So then right here is going to be your positive and negative for your light bar or whatever electronic you might need. Oh man, them gloves are fancy. And what we're going to do is we're going to run them down there, kind of tuck them up and behind some stuff, and we're going to lay it out there and get it ready, and then we got to mount the light bar. But about 5 minutes, especially when you got 2 people, 1 person to feed, 1 person to pull. Psh, piece of cake. Positive and negative, that will get hooked up very, very last. After the light bar is hooked up or whatever electronic, then those will get hooked up and the switch will get flicked. So got to run this wire. Easy peasy. Okay, so we found a hole down behind the headlight. Ran it down, ran it through this little metal piece here, and then we just got it hanging. But really, if you wanted to, you could just run it right down to the ground there and zip tie it up against something. And we're hanging because our light bar is going to go right there. But it's spray painted, so while it's drying, we are going to find a spot. This is what I consider to be the hardest part. Finding a spot to mount the switch, drilling the hole, and putting the switch in. But you can also get different switches that are easier to mount. These, you almost have to drill a perfect size hole so they clip in. But you can use whatever switch you want. But now we're going to find a spot to do that. Okay. Switch is hooked up. Now the bad part is there's metal behind here. So you have to drill through the plastic and the metal. So it's kind of a very big pain. If you want to be really lazy, you can just lay the switch down in the floor. But that's some lazy shit. But yeah, mount your switch. we use the step bit. Hey, where's your step bit at?
It's in my tool. Go back to my toolbox.
This is a step bit, and that's the easiest way to do it. It's like the last one. Like, don't go all the way, but like the next one up. But you can just use a drill bit if you find the right size drill bit. And then just zip tie your wires and all that, and then, you know, on and off. And then the next thing you got to do is mount your light bar, which we have done because we're freezing. It's 5 degrees outside. This freaking nut wants to do this in 5 degrees. Light bar's mounted. Had 2 bolts on each side. We marked them. And I stuck the light bar up, marked where the bolts were, drilled a drill bit hole up through, and there's a nut back behind here. And they're screwed on. Okay, piece of cake. Then what I did, I cut that stupid connector off the end of this wiring kit. Had the stupid connector. I don't know where you buy the connectors to plug into them. I don't care. This light bar actually has 2 males on it. I don't know how well you can see that, but they're 2 males. So you just put a couple females on here. You can see there's red, and then there's a black one. And then you just plug them together, which I'm getting ready to do right now. Christian can do it. Look at it. Look how easy that is. There's one. It should be a tight fit. If it's not a tight fit, you need to maybe crimp down a little bit to make it a tight fit. Look at that. Live action. And then this, of course, is going to get tucked up back behind here and zip tied and all that pretty stuff. Then the last step is what Christian's doing right now. He's got special battery terminals. Where'd you get them battery terminals before 20 people ask?
They're Dropping Hertz.
Dropping Hertz is where he got these battery terminals. If you have a bunch of electronics. Of course, if you just have a bolt on top of your battery, just, you know, stick it under something else and make sure it's on the bolt. Plus to plus, minus to minus.
All right, time to flip the switch.
He's hooked up. Now he's gonna go flick the switch. So if we get blinded here in a second, it all works. Look at that. Man, that sucker's bright, dude. Leave it on for a second. Now it's dark, so of course we can't. Do what? Oh yeah, yeah. Switch glows if you because it's grounded. Most of my switches don't glow because I don't ground them. But on this kit, it's already pre-grounded, so you know, once you turn it off, the light goes off out here, or in here and out there. So last step you got to do on the old light bar. This one actually has little Allen spots right there where you unscrew them on each side and then you can adjust it, which is what we're going to do right now. There it is, folks. Like I said, it's not completely dark, but it's just like the 2 little ones I put on the back of my truck. Right now it doesn't look like that much. When it gets dark outside, it's crazy the difference it makes. And that right there is, I believe, 10 of my 2 on the back, because I have 2 LED things. Each one has 4 LEDs in it. That one you can see, well, you can't really see, but it has like, there's 4, 4, 4, 4, whatever. Yeah, actually each of my 2 have 4 LEDs in it. I think that's what I said. But you can see, so there's one of my lights. There's my other light. So I have these pretty much on the back of my truck split, and he's got all those extras. So yeah, it'll be bright as crap at night. Plus he's got these lights, which are pretty bright anyway. Oh, you got a headlight out. Yeah, you ain't got no driver light. No wonder it ain't been very bright, dude. Yeah, that's super bright compared to factory, which he's got custom stupid eBay things on there, which actually look pretty cool, the halos. But yeah, piece of cake.